Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about what are the limitations of incomplete records. Limitations of incomplete records. Yesterday we saw that in case of incomplete records, the books and accounts are not prepared as per double entry principles. That you remember, no? So, here we are going to see what are the limitations of incomplete records. First one is lack of proper maintenance of records. So yesterday I explained that in case of incomplete records, they are not at all maintaining all the records. If there is no proper records, they cannot maintain accounts in a scientific manner. So it is an unscientific and unsystematic way of maintaining records. They are not at all preparing real account and a nominal account. So there is a limitation that lack of proper maintenance of records. Okay. Then the second one is difficulty in preparing trial balance. You know what is trial balance? All the debit balances are ended, all the credit balances are ended, then we are equalizing the trial balance. Two sides, debit side is equal to credit side, that you know well. So here how they prepare trial balance? Because all the account balances are not available. All the account balances are not available in incomplete records. So this is the second difficulty in incomplete records, or limitation in incomplete records. Then the third one is difficulty in ascertaining true profitability of the business. How to find out the true profit? If they are giving all the informations, they can find out the true profit. Here all the informations are not available. So they cannot ascertain true profit, because of the reason that they are not at all prepared their books of accounts in an accurate manner. So the profit and loss account prepared in incomplete records are lacking accuracy. That may not be accurate. The profit and loss prepared in incomplete records are not an accurate figure. Then the next one is difficulty in ascertaining financial position. So they are giving only estimated values, not the actuals. Regarding the assets, liabilities, they are giving only estimated values of assets and liabilities. So that may not be accurate. So it is very difficult to ascertain the financial position. Financial position means whether they are making profit or they are making loss, like that. Whatever may be the profit or loss, they are finding out using this method are inaccurate. So it is difficult to ascertain financial position. Can you follow me? Then the next one is errors and frauds cannot be detected easily. Sometimes there may be errors. Last year we learned that no, in case of accounting, so many types of errors are there. For example, error of omission, error of commission, like that, no, that cannot be detected easily. That means the errors cannot be found easily. Then the last point is unacceptable to the government and other authorities. For example, in case of a company, they want to submit their final statements, that is trading account, profit and loss account, balance sheet, to the, as per the Companies Act, to the authorities, Companies Act, and to the government authorities. So in case of, if the company following incomplete records, that records are not at all accepted by the government. For what purpose they are compelling them to submit the records in case of, for example, in case of income tax, any other legal formalities, there is a need to submit their books of accounts to the government. So here, in case of incomplete records, government never accept the records, incomplete records submitted by the organization or company. So these are the various limitations of incomplete records. Once again, I will explain. First one is lack of proper maintenance of records. They are not at all maintaining the records in a systematic and scientific manner. So then the second one is difficulty in preparing trial balance. They cannot prepare accurate trial balance or trial balance with accuracy because of the reason that the items which are given is not the accounts or the, for example, in case of trial balance, purchase, sales, cash, that and all items, no, that are only estimated items, not the actual items. Then the third point is difficulty in ascertaining true profit of the business. Actual profit cannot be ascertained easily because of the reason that the informations available are not actuals, they are only estimates. Then the difficulty in ascertaining financial position. It is very difficult to ascertain the financial position. Financial position means the value of assets and liabilities. If the assets are equal to liabilities, we can say that the balance sheet is equal. So here the items which are given are only estimates, not the fair value. Then the fifth one is errors and frauds cannot be detected easily because of the reason that the records are not maintaining properly. How they submit the records properly? So there may be errors, no? So errors cannot be find out easily. Then the last one is this type of records are not at all accepted by the government and the other authorities because of the reason that they are not following the double entry principles. So there may not be proper values are submitted as per the government rules and regulations. So these are the various limitations of incomplete records. Okay, I think all of you are understood well. Then we can go to the next topic is what is the difference between double entry system of and incomplete record. Double entry system you know well. What is double entry? For each and every debit there must be equal and corresponding credit. That is double entry system. Then what in case of incomplete records? That means transactions are not at all recorded completely. Incomplete. They are not at all recording complete records. So this is the main meaning of double entry and incomplete. Now we can see what are all the difference between incomplete records and double entry. First one is double entry. See, regarding recording transactions. See, first difference is recording transaction. What was the first one? Here in case of double entry, both debit and credit aspects are entered. But in case of incomplete records, sometimes there may be only debit aspects, sometimes there may be only credit aspects. So debit and credit aspects of all transactions are not recorded completely. It means not recorded complete means incomplete. So that is the first difference. Here double entry, they are following debit as well as credit aspects. But in case of incomplete records, they are recording only certain aspects, not all the debit as well as credit. Sometimes debit may be entered, sometimes credit may be entered. Then the second one is types of accounts maintained. Here in case of double entry, they are maintaining personal accounts, real accounts and nominal accounts. But in case of incomplete records, they prepare only personal and cash accounts. They are not at all preparing real and nominal accounts. So the second one is types of account. In case of double entry, personal account, real account, nominal account, all are prepared. But in case of incomplete records, they prepare personal and cash account. Then the Third point is trial balance. How to prepare in case of double entry system, they can prepare accurate trial balance because all the items, all the debit as well as credits are entered. But in case of incomplete records, it is difficult to prepare trial balance because the items are given there are only estimates, not the actuals. Then the fourth one is determination of true profit and loss account. In case of double entry system, already last year we learned, they are preparing trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet properly. So profit can be determined very easily and true profit can be seen, true accurate profit. But in case of incomplete records, the trading profit and loss account cannot be prepared with accuracy because all the informations are not available. Then the fifth point is determination of financial position. Financial position means preparation of balance sheet. So here in case of double entry system, they can prepare the balance sheet with accurate figures, accurate amount. But in case of incomplete records, they cannot show true financial position because the items shown in the assets and liabilities are just estimates, not the actuals. They are showing only estimates. Here they are showing only actuals. That is the difference between financial position. Then the sixth point is suitability. In case of double entry system, this is suitable for all type of organization. Means small scale organization, medium scale, large scale. For example, multinational companies, MNCs, all of them can follow double entry system. But in case of incomplete records, that can be suitable for small sized sole traders. You know what is in by sole trading company? What are then partnership firms? Partnership firms, last year you had learned, no? So these two types of organizations can follow incomplete records. But in case of double entry, that can be followed by all the organization. Then the seventh one is reliable. See, it is a scientific system. Double entry system is a scientific system. So it follows the double entry principles. So it is a reliable one. For whatever may be the reasons, for whatever may be, that can be that accounts which are prepared under double entry can be considered as reliable. It is a scientific system, so it is reliable to find. The profit and loss account is reliable, trial balance is reliable, balance sheet also reliable. Then in case of incomplete records, it is not reliable. Why? It is unscientific. They are not prepared in a scientific manner. So this is unscientific, this is scientific. Then in case of acceptability, in case of double entry system, this is acceptable by tax authorities and financial institutions. In case of legal matters, they are also accepted all the records. But in case of incomplete records, these accounting records are not at all acceptable by all users. For example, government, legal authorities, they are never accept this. Okay, so these are the 8 difference between double entry system and incomplete system. Once again, I will explain simply. First one is in case of double entry system, they consider both debit and credit aspects. In case of incomplete system, they consider only one aspect. The other may be incomplete, not recorded. Then in case of types of accounts, double entry system, personal account, real account and nominal accounts are maintained. But in case of incomplete records, they maintain personal account and cash account. Then preparation of trial balance. In case of double entry system, trial balance is show an accurate figure. But in case of incomplete records, trial balance may not be prepared in an accurate manner. Only estimates are considered here. Then true profit. In case of double entry principles, at the end of the financial year, they can find out the trading profit and loss account and the items are true. But in case of incomplete records, the trading profit and loss account prepared are inaccurate and not at all complete. Then the fifth point is financial position. At the end of the financial year, they are following double entry system. They can show the accurate balance sheet, true balance sheet. In case of incomplete system, the balance sheet prepared may not be true, that is an ascertained value or that is an estimate value. Assets and liabilities are just estimates, not complete. Then in case of suitability, the double entry system is suitable for all organization. This is suitable, this incomplete records are suitable for small and partnership firm, that is sole traders and partnership firm. Reliability. In case of double entry system, it is reliable for all purposes. But in case of incomplete record, that is not at all reliable because it is prepared in unscientific. This is scientific way. This is unscientific way. Then acceptability. This records double entry system, all the records are acceptable by all the tax authorities, then legal department, etc. But in case of incomplete records, that accounting records may not be accepted by all the users. So these are the difference between these two. Okay, I think all of you understood well. Thank you.